Greetings! I was asked to take a look at a couple of the practice problems that referred to f of x divided by g of x, or g of x divided by f of x. So the two that I'm going to take a look are number 2 and number 4. So let's take a look at number 2 here. In number 2, we've got part D, where we've got g of x divided by f of x. So our g of x function is x squared minus 9. That's this guy right here. And our f of x function is 2x minus 4. So g of x is going to be x squared minus 9, and our f of x function is 2x minus 4. Now you may recall from your elementary algebra experience how to factor the numerator, how to factor the denominator. And if you do, you'll see that the numerator here is equal to x plus 3 times x minus 3, because that's the difference of two squares in the numerator. And the denominator's got a common factor of 2, which is 2 times x minus 2. And we see there are no common factors between the numerator and denominator, so this thing does not simplify. That's as simple as it gets. Okay? All right, if you don't remember how to factor and you just got x squared minus 9 over 2x minus 4, all good. We're going to review factoring in a later chapter. Okay? All right, let's go down and take a look at number 4. Let's see, there we go. Number 4, we have, again, two more of these style problems where we've got f of x divided by g of x. These look a little more similar to the worked problems from the section, but let's go ahead and get through them here. So f of x, which is given by this function right here, is 32x to the 4th minus 3x to the 7th, and our denominator here is 6x to the 4th. Okay, now, quick reminder from the wonderful world of fractions. If you have a over c plus b over c, that's equal to a plus b over c. In other words, if I have a common denominator, I can add the fractions over the common denominator. But notice this is a two-way street with the equal sign, so I can also write a plus b over c is equal to a over c plus b over c. And that's the trick, or the tool I'm going to want for simplifying this. So this is going to be equal to 32x to the 4th divided by 6x to the 4th minus 3x to the 7th over 6x to the 4th. Okay, now I need to simplify each of those individual fractions. And then to do that, first we'll do the number part. So let me show you a cool trick in case you forgot how to simplify a fraction by hand, if that's still eluding you. Your calculator is quite adept at it. Okay, so the numerical parts, in other words, the 32 divided by 6, can be made into a fraction nicely into your calculator by entering 32 divided by 6, and then go math, frac, and it comes back 16/3. Okay, so this is going to be 16/3 for the numerical part, and then the x to the 4th divided by x to the 4th, well, we see that those are just going to both become 1s, aren't they, right? All right, so now what about the second fraction? Half done here, and so that's going to be subtract, well, 3/6. Again, if you're forgetting how to simplify fractions, I know this seems kind of silly, but it's good practice for future upcoming events, being able to do this in our calculator. So 3/6 is the same as 1/2. And then what do we know about x to the 7th divided by x to the 4th? Well, that's x to the 7 minus 4, which ends up giving us the final glorious answer here. Let's come over here for our final equals of being what? 16/3 minus 1/2 x to the 3rd power. Okay, so that's the simplified version of it, all right? So it says simplify each of the following functions using only positive exponents. Okay, let's go take a look at part B. Got 48x to the 9th minus, let's make that look more like an exponent there. There we go. Minus 16x to the 3rd plus 4, all of that divided by negative 8x cubed. So we're going to break that fraction up as 48x to the 9th divided by negative 8x cubed minus 16x cubed over negative 8x cubed plus 4 over negative 8x cubed. Okay, now we have three little subproblems. We've got to simplify each one of these. So again, we can use the calculator to help us out with the numerical parts. So we're going to take 48 divided by negative 8 math frac, and that's negative 6. Of course, you should have seen that without having to use the calculator, but just in case. Okay. So x to the 9th divided by x to the 3rd, well, that's going to be x to the 6th because that's x to the 9 minus 3. Okay, and over here we've got a negative 16 divided by a negative 8. Hopefully you see that that's a 2, a positive 2, right? We got x cubed divided by x cubed. That's just a 1, so that simplifies to just a 2. And then we've got a 4 divided by a negative 8. Let's go ahead and do that one just to make sure. So 4 divided by negative 8. Math. Oops. Math. Let's go to the math here. The right key eventually. Frac gets negative a half. And then that x cubed just stays down in the denominator. We don't have any x's in the numerator to simplify it with. So that's our final glorious answer right there. Okay, as usual, if you have any additional questions, do not be shy about posting them to the Q&A forum, and I will get back to them as soon as I can.